Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very intriguing news going on over here where it's kind of some bad news, where we're actually seeing some pretty big delays going away, some very anticipated games apparently not as close as we were all expecting, some really big game companies actually shutting down, we have some brand new sales, we have some GTA news, we have a bunch of little random things all throughout this video, so if you guys will stay back, relax, and enjoy, and hopefully you guys will have a very nice start of your weekends as well. If any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below, we have the Target links down below, we have the Amazon links down below, and let's go and dive in the video itself. So very first and foremost, we've actually been kind of seeing some really big industry news. Now, I'm going to kind of start off with this one because I think it's kind of like the most, I don't want to really say entertaining because if people are losing their jobs or like losing money, that's not fun. Like we don't want to see that, but it's like entertaining in the entertainment sense, if that makes sense, where we're actually now seeing that one of the biggest companies in gaming, aka Ubisoft, has been actually shutting down. Now, with this actually, it's been not good. Like, Ubisoft has actually had people, like, protesting. They've had their workers not be pretty happy. We've just seen a lot of just not good stuff. Like, it's just really been not good stuff at all. And this is kind of more of a cream of the crop, where they say Ubisoft is now closing down its Benelux office and potentially even some other ones up in Europe, where they got the email saying that Ubisoft Benelux is no longer as of April 1st. What a date, too, as well. And there was also a letter including, as we all know, the market is constantly evolving, and as an organization, we need to keep up with it. At this time, Ubisoft is facing several challenges due to external factors, such as the decline in sales volume of physical games in favor of digital sales, which I don't think that... I feel this almost seems good, though, for a game company. You don't have to spend as much money for production and making the stuff and send it to, like, Walmart, Targets, or whatever. It's more on demand. I feel that'd be good. They also say the centralization of marketing by digitizing all of our communication channels, the shift from major retail releases to free-to-play, mobile and seasonal games, and less major physical shows, which just kind of seems weird. Like, it just seems like normal stuff. And to meet the challenges of the future, Ubisoft's management has decided to close a number of subsidiaries in Europe. I can totally get it, like if the market's not doing as good or not selling as many games, or maybe some of your bigger games you thought would be doing better would be still doing better. And they also haven't made an Assassin's Creed game in quite some time too as well. So you would think like, oh, okay, it makes sense. You want to shut some things down, make them a little bit more relaxed, whatever. But just the wording seems weird. It's like, hey guys, we've been selling games digitally instead of physically. It just seems like it's just like a weird, I don't know. You guys probably get what I mean. Basically saying, unfortunately, the Ubisoft Benelux entity is subject to intended closure, with most employees departing as of April 1st, 2023. Due to the closure, Ubisoft BV will fully outsource the current distribution of physical games in the Benelux to a distributor to be announced at a later stage. Ooh, like that's actually not cool news at all, as we're kind of seeing Ubisoft. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, I don't think that's just not good at all. Like, you never want to see these big companies announce like basically huge studio closures. I mean, layoffs happen, or sometimes games, they get released and they don't need the team anymore, they get obsolete, whatever. I mean, I get that. I kind of get that a little bit. But no, number one, I guess like the usual reasons for this, not cool. Like I don't know. It's just like, hey, like we have to make some good games. Let's go and sell some good games. That's all you kind of really have to do at the end of the day. Like, that's really it. Like, that really is it. I don't know. I feel like if they're just like, hey, man, like, we just gotta, I don't know. It just feels like they're making excuses. Not cool. Not fun to see. And we're actually obviously seeing a lot of folks kind of going and judging a lot of people over here, too, as well. I don't know. I mean, they're still doing distribution things, too, which is kind of, I think, their bigger deal. But, like, if they're also trying to get rid of the employees and stuff, I don't know. It's strange. It's not good. It's not the vibe. I don't know. Now, for some even other kind of bigger news, too, as well, we're actually now been seeing some even more kind of big business stuff as in regards to Square Enix. Now, these are some of the biggest companies, still don't forget, and there are now pending approval by the next annual shareholders meeting. Yasuke Matsuda will actually apparently no longer be the president of Square Enix. His role will be succeeded by Takashi Kaoru. So basically, at this point, we're actually literally now losing the, president of Square Enix. And as you guys probably know, Square Enix has had a lot of big issues when it comes to, number one, when it comes to, like, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and trying to push into that kind of optic. And that's been weird because we're not really sure if that's been working out or not. We've had a lot of really bad feedback, and Square Enix as well as Ubisoft have both been kind of doing mediocre this past, like, couple of years. So I don't know, especially now that we're outside of this like pandemic boom of gaming, it kind of seems like they're not really making the best decisions, and their companies are now suffering for it, so it's not fun to see. Now, some even more intriguing stuff too is even kind of weird, kind of sad news in the industry, where Andy Robinson on the VGC podcast the nearest Xbox games after Starfield, which was actually in the news even on our earlier video, are going to be Hellblade 2, which I kind of want to play, and A Road. I kind of forgot what A Road even was in the first place. I do remember like the name of it. I kind of forgot what the game was. And apparently though, because we've been seeing a lot of Fable news, leaks, and some tweets from employees, Fable is apparently very sadly miles away. Only recently went to full production, and then Perfect Dark, which I'm also excited for too. It's almost like a 007 type style game, like a little bit, like just for the easiest comparison. And Everwild are still not close. So it kind of stinks because once again, we're having like these big video game industry delays. We're seeing these like layoffs. We've still been seeing a lot of companies, don't forget, like Xbox and Microsoft doing big layoffs. That also hasn't been fun. We're just seeing a lot of just mediocre things going on where just some games are just not selling. But I think it kind of has like a good point. Like some games, let's say like Forspoken, it wasn't really that good of a game. Like it was okay, but they even delayed it, and even after the delays, it wasn't really that good. And I don't know, just everything it just wasn't good. So I kind of feel like all these big game companies have to realize, like, hey, like the standards are going up. Like you can't keep making games that belong in 2017. Where in 2017 they'd be like, oh, this is good graphics, or this is a cool game. At this point, we want the good graphics with the good gameplay and everything else. And it kind of just goes to show that, number one, it takes a long time to make these games. Like Xbox apparently just didn't plan well enough to go make all this stuff happen. Like they really just didn't do well. They didn't go and stagger out the releases. It didn't do very good. And same thing with Ubisoft. Like they just didn't have another Assassin's Creed, so their entire company is like faltering. People are like protesting. People are not getting paid. Like people are shutting things down. It's like kind of scary. It's kind of not really nice to see in the gaming world. And also when it comes to other big like companies like Square Enix trying to make these big kind of YOLO plays into things like crypto or NFTs. Yeah, all this stuff put together is scary. Like it's scary stuff. So I don't know, a little bit of a bad news when it comes to that one. Although some good news if you guys are curious, Target actually has a bunch of really good sales on some PS5 games in case you guys want to go pick some stuff on up. Ratchet & Clank is at $30, Gran Turismo at $40, which is actually very worth the price, I feel like, if you guys like those racing games. Sackboy at $20 as well. Zelda games over at $40 and $42. If you get Final Fantasy as well, you get the pre-order deal, which is offering a $10 gift card too, just in case you guys want to go pick up that. I will probably actually take advantage of that one because I do really want to play the brand new Final Fantasy 2. They have a few other little various things as well, like a Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, $40, Gran Turismo and all the other ones, Far Cry, which is probably not worth the $20. I didn't really like it that much, and a few of these other various games as well. So all around cool stuff. I like seeing this stuff. Good deals. Go creep on your Target in case you guys are curious. Now we also had some intriguing news too as well in terms of GTA, where I would kind of agree on this one. The GTA Online designer director couldn't even have dreamed that their online game would still be ongoing for 10 years as GTA Online approaches the 10-year-old mark, which I still can't believe this game is still like one of the biggest games on the planet, and I just can't wait for GTA 6. For the love of God, please come out sooner rather than later. Its designers reflect on the journey and prepare for what's actually next when it comes to all this stuff. And it's kind of cool because, well, we're going to have new stuff at some point. And, well, it's also weird that this came out, like, so long ago. So it's coming up on its 10th year anniversary over here after the PS3 and Xbox 360 launch in 2013. And while they're basically kind of stating, when I first started working on GTA Online, we were still finding our feet. Essentially, we were pushing the smaller updates while working hard to bring together the first heist, so it's been an epic learning experience with tons of fun and unexpected twists and turns. When we first started out, I don't think we could have ever dreamed we'd be going for 10 years. The success of GTA Online is nothing that we'd ever go and expect, which is kind of cool. Like, we're literally, like, we're still seeing updates, people are on top of this, and they want to keep on making sure, as I said, their GTA updates are free and accessible to everyone so that our entire community can experience it together and have a good time. That stands today still. Looking back at the start, we were pushing GTA Online primarily as a multiplayer experience. Whether it's cooperative or competitive, we felt like we need to get players in and have fun playing together in a shared space. And it's kind of cool because they have been kind of very proactive and also testing all that stuff too as well. So I don't know, that's cool. Like, we're still seeing online servers, we're seeing a lot of GTA folks as well, and I do think long term that this GTA 6, if they do it well, is probably going to be one of the biggest games on the entire planet. And last but not least, funny enough, when we came to big things over here, saying The Last of Us co-director, funny enough, thinks that linear games are actually easier to make than these kind of big blobs of open world games, which I also want to chime in and say, I probably agree. A lot of these open world games, you have to go and have, like, it's like you almost have to like somehow make a line throughout an open world. Well, if you have a linear, you just kind of stay in the same line. So it's kind of like doing like one of these. You basically just go to straight one of those, and it's typically, in my mind, a little bit of a better experience, or at least I'm more used to those types of experiences myself. So I don't know. I kind of think of the same boat, and I usually kind of, at this day and age, as I get older, I kind of like the idea of like a linear style game where you keep on making progression. It makes it easier to stop, makes the gameplay feel like a little more flowy, and I still have enjoyed games like, say, Breath of the Wild, but after a while, sometimes open world have done poorly, which a lot of these games have done, it's just not as fun. So, I don't know, I kind of want to hear your thoughts and comments down below, and as well throughout everything throughout the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Target links down below with the Amazon links down below. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching here up here in the first place.